Well, hello, everybody. This is an episode of the Show Thoughts podcast. Of course, I'm the Big Show. This man right here is Big E. Look, I'm actually right here with him. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. We were caught up in some personal things and weren't able to record and drop for you yesterday, but we are doing this here now. Got a lot to talk about in a way. Like, there's a lot fucking going
A
on.
little bit to catch up on.
Yeah. First, might as well address the grandfather in the room. All right. Mr. Marshall Mathers is a pap. Not like as cool as my pap, but I mean, he is pretty fucking cool. But if anybody hasn't seen the temporary video, apparently Haley announced to him that he's going to be a grandfather. Got a little emotional there.
He was emotional throughout that whole video.
Yeah, especially
The wedding.
The wedding is,
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then, so I was like, man, I don't want to say it made me feel old, but it was just like, man, it just made me realize, for one, how long M's been around.
correct.
And just, in a way, because we figure we've been listening to him since high school.
Right.
So, age does show there a little bit on everybody's part. But then,
Just a little bit.
But then the other part too was, not just M, but Tony Hawk is now a grandfather,
Yes.
and his kid is going to be one of the coolest kids ever. Not that M's
Not that it's not cool.
not that M's grandkid isn't going to be, but Tony Hawk's grandkid is half Tony Hawk DNA, half Kurt Cobain DNA.
Correct.
I'm like, that kid,
It just, I mean, don't nobody judge me as long as you don't go out the way Kurt Cobain did. That's all I'm saying. So don't fuck with me
let's
either.
just hope that he gets the Hawk DNA.
Yeah. The Hawk DNA, not the Hawk Tua.
No,
All right?
no Tuas. Tua Tagovailoa, he's out.
Tonga Tongaloa. All day, every day.
They didn't spit on that thing, and he got hit.
But anyway, that was like the top thing that we found out pretty much before we were doing this. We were talking about it yesterday. So myself and Brandy went to a metal show at Mr. Smalls. You know I don't do metal shows. But I'm supporting my friend, my man, Lil Big Bro, man Dave Rushi and his band. It was quite something for sure.
I wasn't there. I couldn't experience it. So,
but
we got to go on his word.
I'll tell you what, we can let y'all experience it if you want to really see it. So, go ahead, E. Right. So, my thing is to you as the listeners and viewers, what the fuck did that dude say?
I don't know.
Anybody?
I'm the rock guy of this group, and I don't even fucking know what he said.
Did you hear anything? I heard, "Wah! Ah!"
I think he said he wanted a watermelon. I don't know.
Maybe. Or he wanted to take his dog for a walk. I'm not 100% sure. But my buddy Dave is the bigger dude, the bassist to the right of him in that video. Well, and then his buddy Al is to the left of him. But yeah, nothing, because I didn't.
I don't.
The worst part is I looked at Brandy and did the same thing. I said, "What do you say?" I don't know. Guess what? I don't think anybody fucking knows.
No.
But needless to say, just went there as friendly support. It was nice to see Dave, his wife Jackie, cut the rug with them for a little bit. Didn't know there was a second floor to Mr. Smalls. I never knew there was a fun house above it. It's called the Fun House.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're waiting in line to go in there. And the worst part is there's this line going, it's like VIP only. And I was like, looked at Brandon, I was like, babe, who the fuck has VIP tickets for this shit? Like, she was like, I don't know. So we're trying to figure it out. And I go up to one side. I asked these two security guards, it's like, hey, do you know how to get into the fun house? They were like, oh, yeah, you have to like go around all this and it's around the other side. So we waited in that line. So another security guard. And I said, hey, do you know how to get into the fun house? He was like, no, you got to like go around this side here. I was like, sweet big Jesus. So eventually we finally got in and you literally, so when you walk in, when we get in there inside, so Mr. Smalls is here. You go up these steps and to the right and bang, it's just there. I was like, okay. I was like, well, that shit wasn't there when I saw Wu-Tang Clan, but okay. So there was like four live bands. There was one from Wheeling, West Virginia. They gave a real Linkin Park, past Linkin Park feeling, not current. And then we took a break, went outside, smoked, and the other band was coming in. This is where it gets interesting. So the next band that comes in, like they're setting up, and all of a sudden, the first song they drop, you know what? Go ahead.
Because the white people seem to get mad at that. I draw dicks. Yeah, I like to draw dicks. I like to draw dicks. And I'm pretty fucking good
at it. He likes to draw dicks.
He's drawing the PP.
Correction. He likes to draw dicks.
With a Sharpie?
With a Sharpie. The best thing is,
What color is he drawing? Black dicks then?
he can't draw. He has to draw black dicks because the white ones make people jealous or whatever.
Oh, God.
I don't know. So that happened, and I was like, that changed the entire pace of what happened, what transpired, because you had two hard ass metal bands. This, and then like another band that starts up. But the thing was, I don't know if anybody was paying attention, but I love how that one person is rocking out to a dick stone. Like, he likes to draw dicks, and dude's sitting there like, yeah, dicks. I like to draw dicks too.
I draw the buttholes.
I draw the buttholes to go with them. Little peach trees going around my house.
Fucking
Oh my
shit.
God. So, nevertheless, after that, there was the main band that was coming on. And for you wrestling fans, this band was like kind of like the other two prior to them. But I noticed that my man was wearing like some Bray Wyatt pants. So this is basically Bray Wyatt if you got him off fucking Temu. The worst part is you have to zoom in. Unfortunately, we couldn't. But you had Dave's lead singer, Mr. Well, you can't say a fucking thing. He wants watermelon. He wants to walk his dog. I don't know. But his big dome piece was in the damn way. So we really don't know what the fuck was exactly happening. But if you zoomed in on it, you see that it's Bray Wyatt pants. So if you want Bray Wyatt from Temu, get that band. So, yeah. But that was what happened to me last week. Now, that was us just trying to catch up because we had a lot to put together, especially with this whole scenario going on. I feel like that Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake, where it's like, do you have anything to add, Eric? No, I don't.
I did.
No, I don't. No, I don't. You don't cry Bluey if you're not a real man.
Nope.
No. But so that was my weekend last weekend. But now what else do we got going on? I really haven't had much going
Well,
on
at this
week.
point,
Go ahead.
At this point, it's now 5-0.
Pitt is now 5-0.
They're 5-0.
Beat North Carolina today, and I'll probably be going next week to the game if I see. Look, what it doesn't even do that. They don't even like you.
No.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't. But yeah, they beat North Carolina today, so now 5-0. We are in the presence of watching WWE's Bad Blood. We're actually shooting this as the pre-show is going on in front of us. What else is going on?
Not much.
Not really, not much.
We just had a busy week. I mean, like you said, we had, shit going on, or just busy and things of that nature. But
Shit upon shit.
yeah, but we wanted to put something out there,
Yeah,
do our thing.
for sure. And then, like, obviously, we have the pay-per-view tonight. So,
We'll touch more on the pay-per-view on the next recording for next week.
yeah,
We'll discuss the results of matches and things of that nature as we normally do when there's a big pay-per-view, or PLE.
yeah, you got to be
We
specific.
gotta,
like
we
that.
gotta
We
be
should
proper.
never-
Gotta be proper. Don't want to be pissing off Netflix soon.
Absolutely.
But yeah, nothing. I don't know. Even for me, like nothing too exciting on my end. Just back to work, and once again, as a lot of you, I can't be a surprise. Wife's back in the hospital, so just navigating life as we do when that happens, and yeah.
Yeah. Not really too much going on. It's spooky season.
Oh, it is. We got spooky.
We got some spooky season going on. I eventually want to do like some kind of Halloween like we did Christmas. Of course, we will be doing another Christmas episode.
Yeah.
I'm figuring maybe if we have a chance, put on our wonderful therapist fucking guest star that always comes on. See what's going on because, of course, her Mets are in the playoffs and your Pirates are not.
Pirates not.
Pirates are not.
I've moved on to the Tigers. I'm rooting for Detroit.
All right.
Go Detroit. I mean, today, again, this coming out, they lost. They're in round 2 of the playoffs. They made it to round 2, but they got crushed 7-0 by Cleveland.
Right.
So we'll see how the rest of it. Hey, it's baseball. You never know. Can never predict anybody out.
And Penguin season's back.
Penguin season starts on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
all the injuries can get all excited all over again.
nah, they said it's still Steelers season for the injuries.
For the injuries,
It's
for sure.
too early.
And now they're going to start riding that pit bandwagon now that they're 5-0 a little bit. I see that for sure. We'll also have, I'll have some clip notes. My girlfriend went to see Jelly Roll tonight. So,
That old jelly roll.
size of the belly on Jelly Roll. But I imagine it's going to be a great show. He performs one hell of a show anyway. I don't think she'll have any video, but if she does, I'll have her send me some so we can put it on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a crazy week. But we didn't want you guys and gals to go without anything. It's not like we weren't contributing to the podcast. It's just a lot's going on lately. But we're here. We're doing with the most, and we actually just did a podcast like together right here. We had a chance to do it, so we're doing it. Other than that, like, I don't really think there's too much going on. I know that hurricane is a bitch right now, so
Yeah, if anybody's got friends or family down there, I hope they're okay.
yeah, I hope they're doing just fine. I hope they're recovering well. And I mean, it's crazy what's going on, and we just wish the best for anybody that's going through that right now.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I would like to properly thank Tristan and Trevor
Mhm.
and Tyler from CMU
The triple tits.
The triple tits, the triple T's. I see y'all, and I told you I'd shout you guys out. So I was telling Biggie, of course. Yesterday I was doing a stop. Can't name the stop because my job. And I was talking to security, and it was a big group of, like, I'd say college kids, or some, like, between 21 and 25 years old. And I was letting the lady know, the administrative assistant, that they were coming up just to get her prepared. And I was starting to do, like, my shredding and whatnot. And the one dude elbows his other buddy, and was like, "No, man, that's him." And I was like, "All right." So we kind of locked eyes, walked away or whatever. And I came back. I had to do another one behind her desk. And the one guy goes, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Are you the Big Show?" And I was like, "I am. I am." And I was like, "What's going on?" And they were like, "I knew it was you. I knew it was you." Apparently, the triple tits, you wonderful cats, watched the show. And that was the first time. I mean, we've had friends, families, acquaintances, and whatnot talk about it.
Mhm.
But they're the first three people that had ever, like, just outside of the box,
Random.
rando, asked me, like, if I was who I am. I appreciate you guys. You guys caught me in the fucking moment because I was working. So I really wasn't trying to be a dick. I really do appreciate you guys. I thank you guys for listening. They came across us because they were searching for Pittsburgh podcasts at CMU. And we came up, the Oddities of Pittsburgh came up, and I believe something else. And they were just going through it, and they thought that we were funny. I was like, "How the fuck are we funny?" I was like, "But I think we're pretty fucking hilarious." But anyway, they really liked the show. They just, like, they asked me something about my house, which was fucking crazy. They asked me if I got anything done, and of course I did. And then what killed me is I was like, "Thanks guys again," because it looked like they were going inside of a business meeting because they were learning the business that they were going to. And I was going to leave, and the one kid, I see you, grabbed my arm and says, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you that your episode about the suicide awareness and what you did, I wanted to thank you because in 2020, did I say 2023, right?
Yeah, I think so.
In 2023, he attempted to try it, and he was unsuccessful. But he was proud of that. What I said about if it affects one person, that's all I wanted to do, and obviously I affected one person.
Job done.
So again, guys, I thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate y'all. And that was crazy as fuck that it was three randos that weren't even in, like, we run the algorithms, we run the analytics. They weren't even in it. So it was just crazy that, like, our demographic right now is between the ages of like 35 and 45. These kids are about 25 years old and they like the show. So if you know anybody interested in podcasting or would like to hear something just like ours, it's just sporadically all over the damn place, tell them to give us a listen or give us a watch or whatever. Again, like or follow us, comment on stuff, give us new content to do.
Yeah.
Like, we're all about it. Like, sometimes we run out of ideas. We really do. And then we're just kind of spitting on the fly and trying to figure out just what the hell we're doing. And then next thing you know, sometimes we just throw it together all hodgepodge and, like, kind of like today.
Yeah.
Like, we really just threw something together really quick. So again, it was just awesome for three random people that have never ever watched the show or never even heard of us to come and acknowledge me at my place of business, like me and out in the world and whatnot. They actually asked where he was. They thought he was in my work truck, and I was like, "No, if you listen, he works for UPMC. We're not always together."
No.
Like, we're not always together. He has a job. I have a fucking job. It happens. But I did think it was fucking funny they thought you were in the truck. I was like, "No, he's not in the truck. He's
Kidnapped in the back of a fucking box
just
truck.
kidnapped in the back of a truck. Just stay in that bin. Don't come out of that bin. But I'll get you something. I'll get you a little Mickey D's."
I don't know how to been a big ass bin.
We have 95 gallons.
Whatever works. I don't know what I'm in gallon size. I know what I'm in tonnage.
Right?
I don't know gallons.
But yeah, I just thought it was funny. And
I guess I had a random encounter this week too. That
you did.
it wasn't as nifty as his. I guess mine's reverse.
I'd say it's pretty fucking nifty.
His was, kind of him being this, I guess you could say
The star.
the star being noticed. Mine was reversed, and I'm sitting at the intersection up on Grandview Avenue because on my way home from work I avoid tunnels at all costs. Mount Washington's easier, as Pittsburghers may know. So I'm sitting at a red light, waiting my turn to cross over and back down the other side of Grandview Avenue. It was a nice day the other day. I had the windows down, sunroof open, and was jamming out to Sierra. They just released the 20th anniversary of her album Goodies, which was a shocker in itself, just the fact that's that old.
20 years fucking old.
So I'm jamming along, doing my thing, and I hear singing. I'm sitting at the red light minding my own business. And I hear singing, and it's not coming from my car. And I'm like, what the hell? Look out to the right, nothing. Look in my rear view, there's a car behind me, but it's a dude, and that ain't the voice I hear. Look
You
to my
never fucking know anymore, bro.
never know, but it wasn't. I mean, his lips weren't even moving, so let's be the ventriloquist. I looked to my left out my driver's side window. There was fucking Sierra singing along to her fucking song, 1-2 Step, in the goddamn car next to me. And I was just like stunned, just like that complete like
Floor,
like celebrity shock, and which isn't something that normally happens to me. Like it doesn't, like I don't get like that, but
right.
I just was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And obviously her windows were down. I could hear her singing, and she then realizes that I'm looking at her, and she goes, "Good choice of music." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, you would know." Like, and then she was like, "Thanks for the support." Why the next words that came out of my mouth, I don't know. It was the dumbest thing I probably could have said at the moment, but I said, "Welcome to Pittsburgh." As if they had
you had nothing else.
As if they had
just stuck.
As if they hadn't been here for how long now,
right.
And probably have been told that a million fucking times.
Right.
Like, why I said that, I don't know. And I guess that caught the attention of the person driving the car. There was fucking Russell Wilson.
Right.
Peeps his head forward, gives me the nod, is like, "What's up?" And the light turned, and we went our separate ways. They went down Grandview Avenue. I crossed over and went home. And that's what I said too. Like talking about it, it seems like we were at this red light forever.
Hours.
Like
hours, bro.
But it was like that. Everything happened, and that's why, like, I told my wife and daughter, like, I didn't even have time to react, to pick up my phone and be like, snapshot, record, anything. Like, it just all happened so fast, and I was still so like blown away by what just happened.
What transpired.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, but it makes one hell of a fucking story.
If everybody's interested, black Range Rover or Land Rover, one of the two. I don't know, one of the Rovers.
Right.
It was a black one.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Russell Wilson to have a fucking Range Rover. I mean,
yeah.
But still,
that was the excitement of my week. Other than that, I mean, I bowled a pretty good game this week. Let's talk about that. Yeah. No, like I said, it wasn't much for me this week. Just a lot of, like we said earlier, just dealing with life and I mean, whatever else. But
I started getting in if people that know me and know who I am, they know spooky season is upon me, and I'm very into spooky season. This is my shit. Pumpkin beers instead of pumpkin lattes, like scary movies, good, bad, or indifferent. I watched The Deliverance with Brandy. Do not watch that fucking movie. It was horrible. It was awful. I do not recommend it whatsoever. Although we did watch Tarot, and that was really good. Really good. It's like a dark spin on tarot card reading. And then last night I watched the new updated version of, they remade Salem's Lot from when we were kids. It was okay. It's a vampire movie, but the thing is, like, there's kids that are fucking vampires in it. That's what kind of fucked me up.
Glittery vampires.
And that's not Twilight. It's not that kind of fucking glittery Twilight shit.
Anything newer vampires is all glittery vampires.
But I will end up watching American Horror Stories. That'll be out soon. That's my jam. I think there's another one on FX. I believe it's not grotesque, or it's like grotesque or some shit like that. But that's good.
Oh, we let's also real quick. Well, I'll say quickly, but speaking of watching things, Vince McMahon documentary.
Oh, fuck yeah! Let's do that because we're in the presence of Bad Blood as well. But
he's a fucked up.
He's a fucked up guy, bro. Like he really.
Like I'll give it to him as you always realize. Like he is a great businessman, very savvy. On the money dealings, but
right.
The shit. I mean, that guy's got a fucking problem,
dude. I mean, first when they started out and they give you the history of like the WWF,
yeah,
and the WWF, cool. Like with his dad, that was great. Wonderful, well put together. And then you find out how that went down. Like his dad gave him that contract, basically, if you miss a payment,
like a loan, yeah,
that kind of deal. And I was like, all right, is that close? Just look at me. I feel like I'm in a spiritual heaven right here.
Oh.
Look at me. I feel like I'm about to go up to the heavens. Oh.
You might.
I mean, it's spooky season. I might be going. This might be my last podcast. Eric's going to take it over from here. But that was cool knowing the backstory.
Yeah.
Like knowing how he got it. Knowing that he didn't know his dad until he was like, what, 11?
Yeah.
11 or 11, 12?
Yeah.
Like,
kind of like his relationship with his mom
wasn't all that great. And then his stepfather like abused him. They said it was like sexually and physically, and it was like, wow, okay.
Because I guess you just assume, and it's a horrible thing. Everybody's guilty of doing it at some point,
yes.
and in some way. But you just automatically think, oh, he comes from money. He had this perfect rich boy life, like you know what I mean. Like his dad handed him the business and this and that, but that wasn't the case, and it was interesting to see. And then you heard about his story, and then in one of the episodes they talked about the dynamic between him and Shane.
Yeah,
and it's almost like in a way the same, like to where like he's just not handing Shane anything, and he was tough on Shane, and
really tough.
Yeah, like everything that he put him through.
Yeah.
Coming up in the business, like it was like, oh. And I don't want to say it was like, oh, he did it to him because his dad did it to him that way. Right. But it was just like, that's just the family dynamic. Like, It's so crazy. And then, they touched on some other things. I was surprised they went into the Owen Hart death.
Dude, that and Benoit.
And then the Benoit, because they never, because even that episode of Raw is cut from their archives.
Correct.
So the fact that they went in, because they covered the steroid era, it was, if you haven't watched it, and you're a wrestling fan,
I highly recommend
take a peek at it. It's only 6 episodes.
They're an hour and a piece, so it's like if you binge watch shit, you could probably do half and half for an episode a day. Like me, shout out to Travel Chief. We were neck and neck on how the fuck we were watching it. Like seriously.
I did 3 one day and then 3 the next day, but it was definitely one of those documentaries where you learn things about people that you're like, wow, I did not know that.
Trish bark like a dog. I completely fucking forgot about that.
I didn't forget anything about that, but it was just like to hear her, and they interviewed her, and for her to talk about it, and then like the Hogan stuff was crazy.
Yes.
Like how Hogan felt he owed him his life, but then screwed him and went to WCW.
Right.
Like,
and then he thought he was gonna fuck. Hogan was gonna fuck him back over during the steroid trial.
Yeah.
And Hogan was like, no. Like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
As long as he got that deal with the feds, he wasn't going to fuck McMahon over.
No, it was crazy. There was a lot of stuff in it. And they interviewed... They interviewed people that you didn't think were going to get interviewed. And then there weren't interviews with people you thought would have been interviewed.
Correct.
They completely flipped script to what you would have thought would have been interviewed or documented. And then they went a different direction. So it was really good, really cool. Like you said, it was only 6 episodes, so it's like.
But in those 6 episodes, it's very in detail.
It's a nice, easy watch, yeah.
And each episode is like a certain era, like
Yeah.
certain, like
The Attitude Era,
the attitude, ruthless aggression,
ruthless aggression. Yeah.
all that, and then it's like I compared it to like a roller coaster. It just kept going, 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 and wham! And
Yeah.
as soon as it dropped, oh man, fuck did that drop?
Yeah.
Because they got right into all that, the hush money, the scandal.
Because they were creating this when the scandal hit the media and
Yep.
hit the court system. So they put up like a
disclaimer.
disclaimer thing that was like, everything we had, because they show Vince at one point, like it was episode 4 or 5, whatever. Vince got up and walked away from the interview.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was being a dick or anything. It was he legally had to get up and walk away because he couldn't talk no more, because now there was shit that, like, if he said anything wrong, it was being used against him.
Right. It would have came back on him 100%.
So they put a disclaimer up, like kind of explaining that. And then, yeah, he did not get interviewed.
No.
Or did he get interviewed? The last episode, he came back.
No, he did he didn't come back. They had they had that 100 hours of footage.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
they were running back and forth.
Yeah.
But like, he did, like, he was gone, but then he came back. And then we find out now why Stephanie left,
Yeah.
because basically Stephanie was the one that told Vince he should chill the fuck out. And then when he came back, Steph was like, fuck you.
She felt this, dishonored by her father.
Yeah,
like
100%.
She's the one that talked him into that first like retirement that he did.
Right.
And then when he got Vince McMahon about it and came back like an asshole, she felt hurt. Like she felt betrayed by her father. Like, basically that like to her that was kind of saying like, you don't care about me,
Right.
or the family.
So then,
Dude, his wife, she was in the whole thing.
yes,
Linda McMahon, and she talked about everything.
she left no stone unturned.
I'm like-
that's what I loved about her.
I'm like that
Let's just do
woman,
one on Linda.
like that woman is cold hearted.
That woman don't give a fuck.
No.
Well, I mean, look at what happened. Like after the fact that he fucked around on her,
Yeah.
the hush money, all that, the cheating on her, manipulating her. Yeah, bro.
They're like, have you ever cheated on them? No.
Yeah, no.
He stone cold said he did not cheat on her, and then they rolled the footage of him
Cheating on Linda.
and then he was like, nah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not me. That's not me. I was like, bro, you're fucking Vince McMahon. Like,
Yeah.
that's who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
But then, like, then they talk about the merger, and they talk about the TKO group,
Yeah.
and then him with that pussy ass, stupid ass fucking mustache.
Yeah.
That McMahon mustache, it was like here, and then over here, and then down here. I was like, what are you doing, Vinnie Mac? What are you
It
doing?
was like a fucking Wario crooked mustache.
It was. It had a Wario Waluigi feel to it. All it needed was to curl up. And I'd have been fucking dead.
Jet black.
But then, like, they had, like, Bruce Pritchard on there.
Yeah. There
And
are a
then-
lot of people on there that I,
Bruce Pritchard, Jimmy Hart,
Atlas.
Bret Hart. Tony Atlas got paid in cocaine. Plain and simple. Tony Atlas
My
got
man was sitting there with a dress shirt tie,
cut
no
off.
sleeves,
No sleeves,
no
bro.
sleeves.
No sleeves.
And he
No-
was one of the main dudes they were talking to for
Dude.
the whole interview.
Yes, that's what was killing me. As I was like, man, Tony Atlas got paid in a kilo today.
Dude, and that reporter that was like out to get them.
Oh, the guy from New York.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, he was
looking to take down.
looking to take down the whole fucking thing.
I don't know what happened between them two.
But then they even talked about the Stossel fucking incident where he slapped the reporter.
Yeah,
But it was like, I was trying to talk to Scott about it. It was like a lot of these were discussed on Dark Side of the Ring.
they were. So I think that's why. I think like once it was discussed on Dark Side of the Ring, or once they knew that this stuff was going to be used in the documentary, it was kind of like free reign.
Yeah,
Like, okay, this isn't hidden information no more.
correct.
The book has been open. We can use whatever we want. So I guess those are like the subjects that Vince was like okay with.
Right, kind of like Owen Hart, because Martha Hart sued the WWE. They sued the manufacturer of the ring.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't hear that part of the story.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? You hear this and this and whatnot. And then, like, when they brought up the CTE with Chris Benoit, they were
Oh,
like, what
yeah.
the fuck is CTE? It's like, okay, well, then they broke that down.
It's so cold. I've never had a concussion in my
I
life.
never had a concussion in my life. I was
If
like,
you're getting concussions, you ain't taking bumps, right?
you ain't taking bumps, right? I'm like, bro, but you were dropped on your neck. Like, you were
You didn't
dropped
have
on
a
your neck.
concuss, but you almost lost your life and your career.
Yeah, by the late great Owen Hart. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
But like, and then they talked to what's his name, Nowinski, Christopher Nowinski. That was cool because I didn't think he was going to be on that fucking documentary at all until they talked about Benoit. Then I figured he may show up because that's what he does.
Yeah, like he went and became a
A
neuro
neuro
doctor
yeah.
because of the shit that he went through.
Right, because I think he said he got concussed a couple times.
3.
Yeah, so I mean, they've really talked about everything.
It's only 6 episodes, but they covered a lot, and it wasn't like that was crammed in there, and you're like, oh fuck. Like it was well done. And again, WWE, they do their documentaries, and like, I mean, these Netflix docs, you know, have been pretty good.
Right. And it's good. It's only, to me, it makes me feel like what transpired with the McMahon docuseries is only going to get better once the E goes officially to Netflix.
Yeah.
Because, again, talking to interrupt Chief, he was saying that there was plans to do one on Seth Rollins, and I was like, oh, okay, like that would be interesting.
I think now that Netflix is in the door with WWE, I think we're going to see a lot more of these like documentaries that they've been doing, especially like with the football world and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like with Peyton Manning, they teamed up and they did like the quarterback one, they did the receivers.
Yep.
And then just all those little, I can't think of, I'm blanking on the title of them, but they did like the Johnny Manziel. What are those documentaries called?
Oh, it's like,
so they did like the Florida Gators one.
The Florida Gators one. They did the Trashers one.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think whatever.
Untold.
Yeah, those.
They did the McNair one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think like you might see that
Untold
type of stuff,
WWE.
like, or just wrestlers singled out. Like, you know,
like their spin on Dark Side.
Yeah. Like
that would be wild.
See like you said, like if they want to do a Seth or a Triple H or a Stone, like whoever would be willing to do a doc.
Right.
And if they have I would also assume they got to have an interesting enough story. But these guys are fucking wrestlers. If they don't have an interesting story, then they're the wrong.
What the fuck are they doing there?
Yeah.
Like seriously. Shit, they even talked about the Jimmy Snuka fucking murder.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like they really were so in depth with how fucking WWE.
It was like if there was a scandal or something in
the WWE between the 80s and now. Yeah. It's covered on that fucking documentary.
And they even told you again, they had like those, what did you call them?
The little disclaimers.
The disclaimers. But at the end of every episode, they would put up a disclaimer thing and tell you what the results of that scandal case were.
Like, yeah, like a follow-up.
Oh, like, well, since then, so-and-so cleared their name. Or
Sable, like that was one.
Yeah, the Sable, like she, you know, got money. Like they don't tell you. They don't tell you how much it totals or anything, but they just say, oh, she won her case.
Yeah.
Or this person lost. Like, again, like with the Owen Hart thing. Yes.
Yes, they settled out of court.
Yes. Him and her settled out of court, but then WWE turned around and sued the manufacturer of the harness because they sold them, they let him use what they knew was a faulty harness.
Right. Like the female referee, the lady at the fucking tanning salon. Oh my God. Like, you know, we keep continuing. Like
the Canadian screw job.
The Canadian screw job. Like, dude, the Montreal screw job. Yeah. Like, how that all went down. How he knocked out Vince McMahon. I was like, dude.
It was interesting. It
was so fucking good. Yeah. It really was. So seriously, even if you're not a fan of wrestling, or you not now, and you used to watch it back in the day, like in the 80s, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair, all that stuff, or you were a fan of the Attitude Era, kind of like when we were. I mean, I've watched wrestling all my life, but like your Stone Cold, your Rocks, all of that. Even in the Ruthless Aggression era with John Cena, Batista, Edge, all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild. Like, absolutely fucking wild. And I know we both highly recommend you watch this fucking documentary.
Yeah.
Like, it is hands down a fucking great documentary.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't understand. I heard there's possibility of a second one, but I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me.
No, not the way this one ended, just because now like their cases are getting
like everything's pending.
Stacked, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, I don't know. Unless they have more stories to tell about him, because they have over 100 hours.
There's gotta be more. I mean, there's definitely more stories of that guy, but it's stuff that they'll let out.
Right. Well, I like when he was like, "What kind of stories you want to hear?" Like he basically was like, I don't like talking about myself,
Yeah.
bro. I beg to differ on television, okay?
Yeah.
But I like when he's like when he's talking about he does have a sexual appetite.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was like, God damn,
Multiple
bro.
times he said it.
Multiple times. I was like,
So then it's like, so then you're like, oh, so this shit about you with women is probably true then, because
yes,
you just admitted that you're a sex addict.
you're a sex addict. He's a deviant. I have an appetite. No shit, man. No fucking shit. But it was just crazy. Just like, again, I reiterate back to Sable. They had that court case or whatever, and then she came back to the WWE and they made it a fucking storyline. Then he's making out with her on fucking television.
Eric Bischoff.
The Eric Bischoff thing with the Monday Night Wars. Like, oh my God.
It was crazy. It was good.
Then he sued WCW. Dude, it was so wild. Like, it was so. Whoever Vince McMahon's lawyer is, bro, I want him for all my shit. Anything. I don't care who got to take loans, whatever. I don't care. If that dude gets a motherfucker off.
Yeah, that guy has not done prison time and all this shit.
No, not at all. But I tell you what. But I don't think this one is this one with the hush money and whatnot. I don't know.
No.
And Brock Lesnar.
They touched on it.
They touched on it a little bit, but they wouldn't specify what it was. Like,
just because his name's on the court case.
Yeah, so that was crazy too. Like, he, as part of the contract, she has to give him sexual favor. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, we highly do recommend it. We actually, it was like, we wanted to bring out 2 thumbs up. Let's do 4. 4 thumbs up. Instead of that Netflix where it's like, you may love this, we fucking love it. All right. It was really good. I actually still fall asleep to it at night just because I'm like, fuck, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So again, if you're a wrestling fan, of course, Bad Blood is actually on. We're in the process of watching CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. So we will touch on Bad Blood. We wanted to make this short and sweet. It's not one of our long ones, but we wanted to throw people in.
Yeah.
Like we figured 45 minutes is about enough as you can get of us. You know what I mean? We're doing okay. We'll be back next week with some more stuff. Obviously, I'll probably be going to the pit game. You have some kind of plan for your wife's birthday.
We don't know.
It's like to be determined. We have to see how everything goes.
Yeah.
We have to make sure she's all right first.
No plan.
But, but again, we'll be back next week. As always, for Big E, I'm Big Show, and we will catch y'all next week. Later.